Blessed ones of the nations of the world. One more time, thus is your brother Dan Moses, or say Yausakodier of TRC, Ghana, coming to you with a continuation of our expose, Testimony, New World Disorder. But before we begin, we want to welcome each other by saying Akwaba, Allen, Sahalen, Shagitam, welcome, Iganjoni, Benvindo, you are welcome, Kuso, Diwo, Tusanyu Senyo, Okukulaba, Mauya, Mingalaba, Boye, Malamu, Karibu, Ekabo, no, O Sang de Zua, Enkwang de Hena, Mitash, Duburo, Pezaluvat, Bine Ivinit, Barigalus, Vita Iche, Ayubon, Dobridoya, Velkommen, Estan, Hozot, Walang, Anumang, Bienvenido, Namaste, Swagetam, Kush, Hamadit, Baruch, Haba, Marhaba, Huang Yong Haminida, Huang Yin, Nyejeko, Anyemime, Nyejeko, Wezolo, Novio, Mia Wezo, Akwaba to the program Testimony, New World Disorder. Testimony, New World Disorder, as we know, is the program through which we get to know what is happening to Ghana, America, humanity, and the nations of the world in these times of global deception, delusion, and willful lies that are made up by some of the very people that we trust to be there for humanity and the nations of the world. Yet for almost 2 decades now, in worship of the extremely dangerous US undercover agent, have dealt with us by willful lies, deception, and delusion. And they have rendered America, Ghana, and the nations of the world into this global helpless state. But we must remember that the sole purpose of these evil forces that they are pursuing against humanity is to seek to take over your soul and the souls of the human race. However, we are not moved because they are not God and they are not above God. So, Akwaba to the program Testimony, New World Disorder. This expose is being recorded on the 6th of October 2024, Sunday, and by the grace of God, it will be available on the 7th of October 2024, Monday, and it's going to be expose part 13, taking back our franchise and our nation. Expose part 13. This is a special expose. We want to strengthen the heart of Israel and over 1,200 victims of the Hamas terror attack on Israel, the families that lost their relatives, their loved ones on October 7, 2023. We want to strengthen their hearts that yes, we know their relatives, their loved ones are lost. But the Bible says we should not be afraid of those that destroy the body, but we should beware of those that are able to destroy the soul in hell. That is the one we should fear. So we want to encourage Israel and the families of the victims, over almost 1,200. We want to encourage their families that though the bodies of their family members have been destroyed so wickedly, the souls of their family members are in the hands of Yahweh their God. So we have every cause to rejoice in the Lord, and always and again I say rejoice. It is well. Akwaba to the program Testimony, New World Disorder. Humanity and the nations of the world. We want to stand with Israel on this 7th of October and encouraging that it is well. God is in control. And also we want to appeal to what we tell the ministers of God in Ghana, the clergy, the imams, the chief priests, the leaders in Ghana who believe in their land and their people. We want to also tell the leaders on the nations of the world in America and around the globe who have followed this hate crime and religious hatred which is being glorified in Ghana, Adakopi, and resulted in the Hamas October 7 terror attack on Israel. That these state-sponsored terrorists, anti-Semites, the new terrorists, we should not plea with them to cease their terrorism against me, or their cowardly killing of Ghanaians, or the killing of my family members. We should not plead with them. They live by the philosophy that they must continue their terrorism until their victims come to accept their terrorism as a norm. There is no dangerous terror network of the world that is as dangerous as the new terrorists, the anti-Semite and the state-funded terrorists that are destroying Ghana and tearing down the nations of the world. So we should, God is using the case of Ghana to let all Ghanaians know, and all the nations of the world understand, that there is a price, huge price to pay for religious hatred, hate crimes, and hatred in general. If any nation glories and fantasizes in it, as it's being done in Ghana, you know, God wants the world to understand that religious hatred, hatred in general, and hate crime should have no place in our world. It destroys a nation and destroys the world. That is why it has totally destroyed Ghana. It has destroyed the economy, destroyed the finances. The city has been totally destroyed. It is destroying that evil that is being gloried in, but it is destroying our ecosystem, destroying our rivers. Everything in the nation is being destroyed because of hatred and hate crime. So humanity, we should give no hatred, hate crime, and religious hatred a place in our world. In Ghana, hatred and hate crime are just a norm. You know, in other parts of the world, hate crime can result in death sentence against the perpetrator. But in Ghana, somebody can just hate you and just kill you, destroy your life, and you will not be charged in court for hate crime. You know, because hatred is done every day. Hate crimes are committed every day. Family members committed against their own family members, and committed in community, and it's a norm. Anybody can attack you and just wound you, and you think it's okay. You know, that is why these new terrorists, it is state intelligence technology and network that are put behind it, backed by US, the Biden-Harris administration. They have put the intelligence network behind them to be so ruthlessly in their terrorism, and no law applies. Nobody should plead with them. Let them go on and burn the whole of Ghana if they please. But God is using that to teach the world that there is a huge price to pay if any nation engages in hate crime, religious hatred, and hatred in general. Akwa to the program, testimony, no new world disorder. The reason why we should not plead with them to stop the terrorism and the killing of their own people is if Osajim Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, His Excellency John Evans Atameos, Jerry John Rawlings, Nelson Mandela, Robert Mugabe, George Washington, John F. Kennedy, Abraham Lincoln, and the founding fathers of the nations of the world who labored for their nation. If this situation, this shameless state-funded terrorism that Ghana is rooted in, hate crime and religious hatred that the nation, the national authorities find glory in, if it happened in the days of these leaders that we are talking about, they wouldn't have plead for the perpetrators to stop the hate crime. They would have met it with the same force that those leaders used to battle for their national independence. Yes, they would have fought it like we fought Holocaust and overcame it. They would have fought it like humanity fought slavery and human enslavement and overcame it. We would have fought it like the way 9/11 is fought and it was overcome. They would have fought it like the way racism was fought in America and prevailed over. Although it cost the life of Abraham Lincoln, John F. Kennedy, because they would have fought it and prevailed over it. So let those in Ghana, traitors in Ghana who are colluding with forces in America within the office of the UN Secretary General and have made cowardly secret killing and terrorism as a game, let them continue funding the new terrorists and let them do as they please. But we will not plead. We should not plead with them to stop their killing of the Ghanaian people and their terrorism against me and the killing of my family members. If they want to burn up the whole Ghana, let them go ahead. But God is teaching them all that there is a huge price to pay for hate crime. Blessed ones of the nations of the world, Akwaba to the program testimony. We have assured ourselves that this week we are uncovering the evil faces behind the assassination attempt on Trump, and we are also encouraging ourselves that we must, Ghana and America, demand our franchise at the 2024 national elections. It is forces within the United Nations, the Office of the Secretary General, the Biden-Harris administration, and the state of Ghana who are orchestrating to rob Ghanaians and Americans of their franchise. Let me give you a shocking information. We know that this week I have uncovered to us that we must understand that the day 13th of July, which was used for the assassination attempt on the life of Trump, was not accidental. It was an orchestration by these evil forces who wanted Trump dead due to their hate crime and anti-Semitism and hatred for Trump, just like they hate me. So it was when I exposed that information that we know that for us to know that these state-funded terrorists, they are not organized crime network. It is not just like a hate crime group. It is the state of Ghana itself that have put national intelligence technology and network supported by U.S. intelligence network behind criminals, supported by Ghana Police Service, a section of them, to engage in ruthless terrorism and hate crime in the community, just like that. Understand? For God to make us understand, it is the state of Ghana engaging in that evil. They have made a quick damage control. It is the state of Ghana and the Electoral Commission that are plotted to get the franchise of the Ghanaian people robbed, and rob the American people of their franchise. Ghana's national election 2024, the Electoral Commission, there were as many, over 20 presidential candidates. The Electoral Commission eliminated all of them and left only 13 presidential candidates. Why 13? They are only playing on the minds of the Ghanaian people to make a fool of us, to tell us that the elections 2024 of Ghana and America, it is all about the marriage and it's all about the worship of the extremely dangerous US undercover agent. We remember how she operates to get medical record falsified against me on the 13th. You remember? They want to tell the world that they have foreign backing. The Electoral Commission is so ruthless, lawless, and doesn't care about whatever the Ghanaian people, the concerns of the Ghanaian people regarding the election. Whatever they have decided to do is what they will do. Why? Because they know that they have forces in America, forces within the Office of the Union Secretary to get their wish done. They want somebody who would be put on the throne of Ghana and America, who would further the agenda of the willful crime covering, which has been crime covering for the 20 years, 2 decades of heinous crime that they have committed. They want somebody that will further the agenda to be put on these thrones. So, because the Electoral Commission knows that I have exposed them last week, that the 13th that was used for the assassination, it was by the forces, it was orchestrated by the forces who have been behind all this global evil, in Ghana and in America. They have orchestrated that the 13 presidential candidates, they should quickly find a damage control and let some of the presidential candidates with they are getting bribed so they can withdraw from the presidential candidacy. So the number of the 13 will be reduced, or they should find means to increase it. Why? Because they know that just last week I told America and humanity that the 13th is an agenda for the assassination of Trump. They know that they are doing that evil with their cronies in America. So even their presidential candidate, the presidential election, they wanted the world making mockery of the Ghanaian people. And this is all about the worship of the extremely dangerous US undercover agent. So because they are getting exposed, they are finding means, damage control, to quickly try to find means to bribe some of the presidential candidates. What a shame! What a shame! America and the nations of the Aquaba to the program Testimony New World Disorder. We this week are exposing all the evil minds behind Trump's assassination, and we must understand that His Excellency John Evans Fifi-Atamils and Barack Obama, they became president at the same time in January 2009. God gave them the opportunity. The reason being that the problem that has been created by the extremely dangerous US undercover Barack Obama and his cronies, the Hillary Clintons, the Michelle Obamas, the Joe Bidens, and Ban Ki-moons for humanity, with the extremely dangerous US undercover. God was giving Barack Obama and His Excellency John Evans Fifi-Atamils the opportunity to solve the problem. However, Obama bonded with tribalists and traitors of Ghana so that they aid him to make the situation worse for America and to get me killed, to cover up the crimes of the extremely dangerous US undercover agent. So Obama only sought for his interest and his political destiny pursuit, dynasty pursuit. And while His Excellency John Evans Fifi-Atamils knew that these forces are just seeking to destroy me for hatred reason. I have never committed any crime against anybody in Ghana, not any Muslim or Christian or Jewish or anybody. It is only that these forces behind the global evil, they are just playing human, they are just playing smart by seeking to make up a lie that when I was in Ghana, I was a Muslim. I was married to a Muslim, and find every reason to get me killed because they knew that if they brand me a Muslim, that would tie the hands of Israel to be quiet. Even the Islamic State will be quiet, because if he's a Muslim and he's a terrorist and he's a Ghanaian and he's being killed, he's a terrorist, let's kill him. You understand? That's how much traitors in my own nation, they hated me. So His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, in seeking to let the Ghanaian people know that the Ghana that he envisaged is the Ghana that the Jew, the Muslim, the Christian should all have their place. Whether no matter our gender, our race, whichever part of Ghana, we must all have a place. No matter which part of the world that you are welcome to Ghana. That's what His Excellency John Evans Fifi-Atamils' administration did. He ensured that the U.S. embassy had been which had been shut down for almost 30 years before he became president. He ensured that the U.S. I said the U.S. but the Israeli embassy, the Israeli embassy that had been shut down for almost 30 years. He ensured that that Israeli embassy was opened again on the soil of Ghana, just to let Israel know that this is an innocent guy. He doesn't have anything against Israel, against Muslim or anybody. It's only that wicked people have sought to kill him. I am the same person that God used. Christ is my Lord, a Christian. I stood for him, John Evans Fifi-Atamils and Barack Obama, for God to establish their thrones. So it's only that the people hated me and wanted it. However, when for His Excellency John Evans Fifi-Atamils have laid down his life for, made the sacrifice for the establishment of the Jewish embassy, to his enemies, to the traitors of Ghana, to the foreign forces, to the worshippers of the extremely dangerous US undercover agent. This is an abomination, exactly, to the anti-Semites. You know, they have the Israeli embassy has been shut for 30 years. Why should His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, in seeking His Excellency John Evans Fifi-Atamils for the sake of my life, which they are seeking to destroy, bring Israel back to the nation Ghana for the embassy to be established? So for this, His Excellency John Evans Fifi-Atamils has committed an abomination and a crime, a sin that he ought to be killed for. So the purpose that they must render his government ungovernable and destroy due to they must destroy his government. And there were times under the rule of His Excellency John Evans Fifi-Atamils that cargo planes, they were rendering his government ungovernable, and just to kill him, cargo plane could drop from the sky and tear it down and fall on the Ewak Stadium. Yes, that is how much anti-Semitism and religious hatred and evil against His Excellency John Evans Fifi-Atamils. But amidst all the evils, in 2011, I had to get back to Ghana with my wife, then undercover agent wife, and my two children, because I could not allow my children to be killed in terror, torture, and persecution just for the protection of the undercover agent. When we came to Ghana, the undercover agents had orchestrated with the CIA and the terror network members operating from Canada, some from UK and other parts of the world, US and Ghana, the CIA, to get me kidnapped and to lynch me. So when we came, she wanted to go back. I saw her and my two children off at the airport peacefully, and they left. When I left, that was when they orchestrated the kidnapping to get me killed, just to shame President Mills' administration. And she orchestrated that she should leave Ghana on the 12th of March and then reach the soil of America on the 13th of March 2011. So Ghana, I'm telling you this for us to understand that the kind of anti-Semitism and hatred against Israel and religious hatred that is done so ugly and shamelessly by forces within Ghana that if you are not told, you will not know. But it is there. It is there. Religious hatred. Look at how. Humanity. The 13th of July that was orchestrated for the assassination of Trump was a purposeful thing. There's nothing accidental about that. These same evil forces that are seeking to disenfranchise the Ghanaian people in cahoot with the Electoral Commission of Ghana. And now God is shaming that they want to backtrack and change the number of the presidential candidate from 30 to. I'm not the one that is shaming. It is God that wants Ghanaian people to know that it has been since Obama's time, 2008, that these evil forces have been disenfranchising them in secrecy, and yet they want the political forces to battle each other openly on TV and on radio as though they don't know what is going on. You understand? To let the Ghanaian people fight against each other, but they are one. Understand? Playing this game at the expense of our franchise. So Akwaba to the program, Testimony New World Disorder. This week we are uncovering everything regarding Trump's assassination. God willing, we shall continue the same week. God bless you, and God bless our homeland Ghana. Total shame on Jay Mensah and the betrayers of Ghana. God bless you. Bye bye.